Thank you very much, and welcome to the annual music service that we have at Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. My name is Thom Botsford. I'm a longtime member here, and I think we've been organizing these for a good many years. You may have recognized the opening tune. Anybody? Well, it's amazing what television will do for a song. Yes, that's the theme from MASH, written by Johnny Mandel. Anybody happen to know the subtitle? Yes, suicide is painless. First time I heard that doesn't sound like suicide to me. It's a beautiful tune. But when I looked at a little history into it, Mandel wrote it for MASH, original production, and it was about a staged suicide, not a real suicide, so he needed a song about it. He wrote the song, and then he couldn't think of any words. He got his 14-year-old son to write the words. And I think it's, suicide is painless, it brings on many changes, and I can take or leave it if I please. He wrote that at age 14. He's still collecting the royalties from it.
The subject who did the fake suicide was the dentist whose nickname was Cannabis.
Okay. Anyway, songs have interesting histories, and we'll try to look at some of the history of a few of those that we picked today. Now, this is very casual, and we're likely to make a few little errors because COVID makes it hard to practice and hard to do a lot of things. I'm surprised, very pleased that we're able to have this meeting today, given we don't know what's really going to happen with COVID. Just a big question mark. I've seen all kinds of prognostications. But anyway, we're here to try to play some music. Chris Saunders is back on piano. You may remember Chris. He's been playing for us recently. And Chris is a fascinating musician. He has played halfway over, well, he's far from his home, let's put it that way. He comes from Wales, a long time ago. I think largely self-taught in the popular music area, and came to this country, has done very well. His resume includes being a piano player for Al Hurd. That's a really big gig in New Orleans. Now he splits his time between Pensacola and Nashville, and we've had him here a number of times. Delightful to work with, and a lot of fun to have conversations with. He's never short on things to say when you want to sit down and talk anything, whether it's politics, the latest books, what have you. And of course, Jack Wolverton on drums. Jack does a lot more than just play the drums well. He helps manage the stage and get things set up along with our sound guy, Scott Satterwhite. So thank you very much for all that you do. Before we do what I would call some feel-good music, not so much suicide is painless music, but some feel-good music, before we get into that, there are a few things that we need to announce. First, I'd like to light the chalice, and then we'll recite the code. Okay? Do you have a copy of our covenant in your bulletin? If not, just follow along as I read it out. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Do we have any visitors today? Oh, yes, well, welcome. If you'd like to stand up and introduce yourself, you're certainly welcome. Or not.
My name is I've been in Pensacola for
welcome.
5 years. Done a lot in the community. Bouncing about and see if I can find a new church for me.
Great. Welcome.
I'm Chris, and Pensacola as well. I've been doing, seeing all your stuff online. So, this is my first time coming to the actual place. My daughter and her husband Thomas.
Yes. Hey, good to see you. Richard? And Sarah. I have to look at people with a mask sometimes before I recognize it. You the same way? Hey, good to see everybody. I wish I could say that we would have a welcoming time afterwards, but because of COVID, that won't happen. We won't have refreshments today. And of course, everybody is wearing a mask and we're taking other precautions. There are some announcements. First of all, the decorations have to come down, and that is a work party scheduled for January 8th. That's next Saturday at 10 o'clock. Take down the decorations. We need people power to get it done. Please join us. Mary Lee Donnelly gave me that. So that's Saturday morning at 10. By the way, if you had the Asian dinner on your calendar for the 15th, that's been canceled. We're not having that this month, again, because of the same reason. Lauren gave me this announcement. Our coat and blanket drive will conclude next week, Sunday, January 9th, after the service, so please bring in any donations then. Also, one of the youth in the program is expecting a baby in January and has requested a changing table. If anybody has a changing table, a new one, or would like to buy a new one, or have a gently used changing table, contact Lauren if you would. Okay, now we'd like to do a collection at the offertory. This church is financially supported solely by contributions from our members and friends. If you would like your cash donation to be recorded, please use an envelope with your name. So we'll collect the offertory now. Also, if you have any joys and concerns to share, if you'll put them in the offertory bowl, we will announce them here in just a moment. I don't know if you recognized it. Chris was reminiscing a little bit. That's the name of that song, Reminiscing, from 1970-something. Little River Band. Remember that? Anyway, we have some announcements to make, as well as joys and sorrows. First, we'll start with Margaret McLaurin. She is at home with bronchitis, unfortunately, but I was pleased to read that, she tested negative for COVID. That was good. Her family's taking care of her, and she can stay home and enjoy her Christmas while recovered. So keep her in your mind.
Who is that?
That's Margaret McLaurin. Usually here. So she's a little under the weather. I think she said she always gets on. Oh, you need my microphone? If you need the mic, okay. Tara is saddened that this is the second year of not being able to enjoy her family during the holidays. She moved to be closer to family, but is unable due to COVID restrictions. She does have a Georgia share. Her daughter and son-in-law tested positive for COVID but recovered quickly. Tara has been tested and waiting for results but has no symptoms. And Dolly, you may have heard, Dolly Berthelot has been hospitalized but is getting good care and looking forward to returning home. Denise D'Angelo has been struggling since getting pneumonia at Thanksgiving, but able to ride her bike this past week, so that's good. She misses us and hopes to see us all soon. Maybe some more here. Okay, Heather tells us that she and Daniel have a new golden doodle, it's a golden lab and golden doodle puppy, yes. His tentative name is Hermes, and he is 2 months old. Congratulations. Okay, from Lisa Rawson, she notes that she'll be a grandmother in July. So she's full of joy about that, of course, concerned about dollars. Linda Cobb says that her mother-in-law, who's 95, has tested positive for COVID. That's Neil's mom. So your thoughts and wishes are appreciated. And maybe you also saw that we lost E.O. Wilson, the great scientist, this past week, and of course yesterday we lost Betty White. So remember those as well.
And one more for Joyce and Sorrows Unspoken.
I'm sorry?
One more for Joyce and Sorrows Unspoken.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. The joys and sorrows unspoken, and thanks very much for sharing those today. So, trying to pick some happy music. Let's see. Sunny Side of the Street this morning. That goes back to 1930. I was mentioning how songs have interesting stories behind them. It was written by a man, I've forgotten his name, but it was a man who had been booking all black musical reviews in places like the Cotton Club. And so he decided for a change he would do an all-white review in 1930, and it was a big flop. But one tune in it was Sunny Side of the Street, and that caught on. There have been several #1 hit versions of that in the 30s and 40s, and of course it's a very sunny song to play. It's bright. But of course, if you look hard enough, you're always going to find some problems, particularly if there's money made in the music business. Fats Waller, the great piano player, maybe you heard of Fats Waller, African-American player, died far too young, composed Ain't Miss Mahaven, and other classics. He claims to have written some of Sunny Side of the Street, but he sold it to the guy who claimed credit when it wasn't popular. It didn't make any money, and once it got popular, he was angry and didn't get the airplay. He refused to play it. So anyway, if you look into the background, you'll find some interesting details of almost any song, and Wikipedia makes it easier to do. Chris came in playing something this morning. I said, hey, let's just do that instead of whatever we had planned. You want to get it to start? So what's new, Chris? So what's new? Duke Ellington is I think everybody's heard of Duke Ellington. I hope if maybe two names in jazz you need to know, Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington would be the two. The singer Joe Williams once said if he was at a gig and having a hard time moving the audience, getting anything, getting across to them. All he had to do was pull out the songbook of Duke Ellington. It's about at least 24, fairly well-known standards, and wonderful, wonderful music. Great songbook. And some of these tunes you should know, even though, of course, Ellington left us in 1974. He was born in 1899, died in 1974. So he was around the first 3/4 of the 20th century, had a big influence. We want to place 4 Duke Ellington tunes, one after the next. Won't tell you what they are. See if you can guess what they are, and I'll tell you when we finish. Thank you, Duke Ellington. That was a satin doll. Don't get around much anymore. Take the A train and Caravan. Those four. Anyway, thank you very much, Chris. Chris, by the way, spent a good time in New Orleans. And if you're New Orleans, I guess you play a closer walk with me a lot, don't you? At any rate, that's what we would like to try to do next. This is patterned a little bit after a Pete Fountain version that was actually a hit in the early 60s. So we'll do a closer walk, and then Chris will sing the Louis Armstrong classic, What a Wonderful World.
Basin Street too. You get Basin Street.
Basin Street's on the way out.
Oh.
Like faces,
Happy New Year. Yes, thanks for joining us for this program today. It was kind of a jam session, maybe a few little rough spots, but we had a good time playing the music for you. One thing I wanted to mention that is a big joy that I didn't include a moment ago, and this is really a big deal. The trustees of the UUCP Charitable Trust are pleased to share that the outpouring of love and respect for Barbara Goggins has resulted in over $2,300 in donations to the charitable trust from 20 different individuals, 16 of whom are church members. Barbara, along with her husband Bill, are the founders of the trust, which serves kind of as a saving account for our trust. So that is really good news. Thanks to all who did that. By the way, you probably recognize that last tune as What a Wonderful World. Just a note here before we leave, it has an interesting history. It wasn't recorded until 1967, and it didn't go anywhere in this country. They were trying to get Louis Armstrong to record a follow-up to Hello Dolly, and this wasn't that. This was something entirely new, and they recorded it and promoted it out here. Went to Europe. It's a big hit in Europe. And then it was picked up by Good Morning Vietnam. Remember that movie? And now it is, I'm sure, by far the most popular song that Louis Armstrong ever performed and played. So thank you very much, Chris and Jack, and thank you for coming today. Please be safe. Take care of yourself and everybody else. And what we'll do is, as you depart, we'll do a little Basin Street Blues. So thank you very much.
person.